Hey guys, this is Amory from Sheets That Teach. I am a special education teacher that has teamed up with Laura from You Are Love Templates. She is the spreadsheet mastermind that helps bring all of our teacher dream data sheets to life. She has so many amazing spreadsheets for outside of the classroom, basically like any executive function need, like a Thanksgiving planner. Have you ever seen such a thing? Like Christmas gift tracker to help budgeting and make sure you don't miss anyone. Like, we love it. We love to see it. And also, her Google Sheets masterclass has taught me everything I know, so I highly recommend you check it out. Maybe you could even have your district cover it as a form of PD, because like you would definitely be applying that all the time. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Today, I want to show you how to put together the long-awaited, much requested class-wide goal database. A lot of you already have our singular, like, student version of the IEP goal database, and you've been trying to make it work on a class-wide level and definitely been running into some kinks. We have made the perfect tool. I think your jaw is going to drop. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what a completed example looks like so you can get a taste of the magic. Then we'll go over how to set it up and organize within your Google Drive for future use and how to put it together to start taking data. So let's just go ahead and take our little sneak peek. This is a class-wide version of the singular IEP goal database, and I also want to specify that this doesn't need to be just IEP goals. You could very easily put like the phonics inventory on here of like so many phonetic skills, truly any skill you want. You could do time on task, executive function things. So this doesn't even need to be for your kiddos that have IEPs. It can be for truly everyone. So truly what you do is add all your student names. These become drop-down menus in all future tabs. Then you're going to put basically any IEP goal or skill that you're tracking and what the answers or steps would be. And get ready for this. You have 100 spaces. You can do up to 100 skills. So that's just like totally crazy. Now, you'll also be able to select students that are working on that goal. And again, you can easily assign more than one student, which I just love this feature because I also think it really helps with small groups. You could even like color code them if you wanted to. And so now keep in mind, all of these goal names and steps that you put into are going to formulate into a drop-down menu. When you first get yours, it's going to be numbers on the bottom, and you're going to do like one tab per student. When you get yours, it's going to give you a drop-down menu, and you're going to select that student, and it will then populate all the goals that they're working on. And when you come over here and you're ready to take data, you just click your date. You're going to get a drop-down menu of any goal that she's working on. You go ahead and click it, and then you are able to literally just start taking data for that trial. And again, because we're not walking through this the whole entire time right now, I just want to show you what a completed one with data looks like very quickly. So this is Sally, and again, look at everything she's been working on. And again, you don't even need to put these boxes in, like, you don't even need to like the top 4 multiplication and then the next 4 CVC segment and blends. You can truly just put it in any order you want, because what you have right here on the right are all of these goal summaries. So this is all of your her trials combined for 2x1 multiplication. So we can see out of the 2 trials, her independent accuracy is at 75%, but when she's receiving prompting, she's at 100% accuracy, so she's doing pretty great. Again, with dictated sentences, she's crushing it, doesn't need help in that regard. This is empty because she hasn't been assessed on this yet, but as soon as you were to start taking data on this, that little add series thing would go away. Another general rule of thumb for all of our sheets is basically if something is gray like this is all gray minus the like color here for like, the visual prompt. It's automated and you don't need to do anything. If it's white, type in it and select. If it's gray, leave her alone. Like, do not touch, where is it? Do not touch anything on this dashboard. Nothing. Unless the few things you want to do are, I'll tell you, if you wanted to write on this and like leave a mental note to yourself about the student, that's something you wanted to mention on their progress report, you got two options. You can add a comment for yourself to tell yourself what to do or whatever you want to bring up in the progress report. Or what we do this, you'll see sometimes on like our Start Here tabs, you can add a note. So you're going to go to Insert, go down to Note, and it'll be like right there, type whatever you need. You'll get a heads up you're editing something. That doesn't matter. You're not taking away the formatting. You can go ahead and now you have a note. And if I needed it to go away, just bye. And she gone. Keep in mind, like, you could leave a note or comment like that on any of these things. Like, maybe I wanted to remember that specifically on this trial date. They were like really tired or the class was really loud. I could literally go in here, insert a note and be like, he felt sick, was really tired and distracted. Or once you're in this tab, you could literally start taking notes here. You could just be like, on the trial on December 2nd, XYZ happened. And again, you can just like space it out or even go down to a new line to take more notes. How I just did that to go down to a new line is you're going to press Control or Command, whatever you're on, and then press Enter, and you can go down to the next line. I feel like that's a hack that not all of our teacher baddies know yet. So if I wanted to just easily delete all this, I could do Control A to select everything in that cell, backspace, done. I want to say too that everything, these are all automated. You do not need to touch these at all. Same with the graph up here. Again, it's going to start looking empty, but as soon as you start taking data, you'll see things populate. This is where the magic happens. We've gone over how there is your class list. You're then going to make all the goals or skills that you're measuring with the answer responses, assign students that you're working to them. Then you're going to change all your names, then select a name from a drop-down menu, get a list of the goals they're working on, and that is what the drop-down menu is going to be. Over here, you have your goal summaries to the right for that student, and it's combined from all their trials. And then this graph at the top is their independent accuracy average across trials for that skill. And now, ready? Drum roll, please. Not only do you have your beautiful little goal summaries by student, you have a whole class dashboard. A whole class dashboard. Like, mic drop, like, can you imagine? It's progress report time, and this is the only thing that you need to look at. Practically the only thing. Like, if you're using our behavior spreadsheets, you might look at that too, but shoot, all the numbers are done. This is Sally's totals or average accuracy across 2 trials. Again, I want to point out that this is independent accuracies. This is fully automated. You will never need to write anything on this page. I believe even, yeah, you don't even need to, the names are auto-generated. It's a formula as well. Yeah, I just, like, you're going to have a field day with this. I think it's truly beautiful. So one thing I do want to point out is, like, you might see that this 33, like, is still green, and you're probably like, wait, 33 is low. Like, why is it green? So this is a color scale, and it's set to just, like, progressively get darker green the higher score it is. So your lightest green is basically their worst area. We decided not to go with red, yellow, green, just because, again, like, people have so many different definitions of what mastery is, and it would also just, like, say they only had like 2 trials of something, the color scale would be very off. So we thought sticking to one color would be best. And again, I feel like there is a stark enough difference between the greens that it still certainly brings your attention to it. Let's go over the in-depth ins and out of how to set this baby up. When you get yours, you are going to always get the Start Here page. Now, again, if you don't want to keep listening to this video, there are detailed instructions here. Again, you can always go to the example, which is what we were just looking at, to get some ideas. Like, dude, steal some of the goals from the database if you need to be inspired, or the example if you need to be inspired. Now, what I recommend, as always, I would go to, I like having a fully blank copy to always start fresh from. But again, if you say you filled this one out a lot and you need a fresh one, you can literally just always go back to your purchase PDF and make a copy of another one. Also, you can always just check back in there because we may have made an update or like fixed a bug or something. I will say every time we do roll out an update, we do the notify buyers thing, so you'll always know when we do an update. So you're gonna go to File, Make a Copy, and we're gonna do vid example just because I have 1,000 versions of these and I'm gonna get confused if it doesn't have a weird name. So now, again, you can totally hide the Start Here sheet if you want. You're gonna go ahead, enter student names. Then you're going to go to the goal database and start filling out your goals. Step 1. All right, so you are going to go ahead and fill out all your goals. Then you can go ahead and assign your students. Now, one thing I do want to point out here is, say I wanted to go to add another student to this goal and assign it. If I were to just click this cell once and start typing in T to get Tara in there too, for some reason, Google then thinks you want to override the 2 students that are already in there. And it will, because I didn't double click into the cell, now it's only assigned to Tara. If that happens, you can always hit it with a Control Z or Command Z for undo. So the big thing that I will say too is just make sure you double click in, and like when you double click in and put our T for Tara, she's actually there. Or if you double click in and just actually click a student, it's adding more students, but for some reason with a single click, it would override everyone else. Now, don't be nervous that like, oh, then all their data would get deleted on this one tab. It won't. It's still there. Like, those tabs operate alone. You would get an error message or like a flag right here. Say, for example, on your goal database tab, you wanted to go ahead and assign your kids colors. You can just go down here and edit the button and like say you wanted like Sally and Bob to be in the same group. You can again just like assign small group colors to kids, and the only thing is like when you're done, just make sure you press apply to all so it goes in all 100 boxes. So another organizational thing I think that would help with. One thing I wanted to point out to you guys too is that like say when you're filling all of these out and you know that like you filled all these out, I would even then make a copy of your, once all your goals are filled in and you haven't assigned students yet, because if you know that you are going to have the same grade again like next year, or even just marking period to marking period, you would have a copy that you don't need to enter all of the same goals and steps again. You see what I mean? So you could literally put your class list for that year and then fill in all the goals you're going to be tracking throughout that year. Do not assign students. Don't even like, I guess you could change the tab names because you're going to have it for a year, but then make a copy of that before you start doing anything else, because then you'll have each marking period, you'll be able to start You won't need to fill in your goal database, again, is the point that I'm trying to make. So basically you'll have your blank master template, and then you'll have a template that has all your goals, but beyond that, it's staying blank. And this is the one that you would then copy when you want to start taking data at the beginning of the marking period. Again, this is definitely a sheet that has a lot of background work and a lot of tabs. So sometimes when you update something, it might lag a second or not show immediately. So just make sure you give her a little bit of time, hit that refresh button, and she should be good. Your next step would be, remember on your blank one, they're going to be numbers. You're going to want to go to rename, and we're going to rename it to Sally. Now, then I would just go ahead and click Sally. Again, I get what she's working on here. When I need to take data, I'm going to go ahead and select a date, select whatever goal she's working on, and you can go ahead and start taking data. Incorrect prompted, correct and independent. You could change this prompted to partial correct, but there's nothing automated about this. So if you did do that, you would need to, like right here, it says accuracy with prompting. You would just need to, in the goal summaries, change them all to like partially correct if that's the way you wanted to do it. Within each progress monitoring like student tab, you are going to have 50 trial entries or probe entries, whatever you want to call them. So that means if a student has 5 goals, you'd be able to assess it 10 times. Or if, they have if they have 10 goals, which again, you have 10 goal summaries here, so I wouldn't assign more than 10. But if you know that like this kid has hella IEP goals and it's definitely going to be more than 50 trials in one marking period, I would probably do like 2 tabs per student. Like I would say on my class list, I would go back and be like, Sally reading, Sally math. And that way I know one tab is just her reading, one tab is just her math, and I have everything I could need. You could even make like one of your master templates of filling in the goals, all your reading and writing skills. So for example, one thing that I also am starting to put together as like an extension of this product is like we're going to be making some pre-made ones for you. Like this one is literally going to be an informal phonics inventory, and you could literally, like, again, this has every phonetic pattern, and I even put like some dictated sentences. I put the fry words by groups of 10, and I think dictated sentence too, and like I may put a few other things on here. But say I wanted to have like a template that's just my phonics inventory and like reading and writing skills, I could make another master template for just my math skills. And again, just have those to restart with at the beginning of each marking period. So there's a lot of different ways you could organize it. Okay, say you didn't want to do this list of addition things, you can change this. Like you can change your list of CVC words as you go. You can always edit it. Now, technically, if I were to write a new equation in here, keep in mind, we did just take out the formatting on this. So now instead of like a long formula like that, it's not there, but you would never ever be duplicating this exact tab to take data again. So the fact that the formatting is erased literally doesn't matter. Last thing I would also like to say too is, say you really wanted more than 30 slots or 30 students. I mean, technically you could duplicate an empty student tab, but keep in mind that that will not be attached to, like, nothing would come up on the dashboard and you wouldn't be able to like assign them any goals. So I would just try to keep it to 30. Again, if you need more than that, I would just divide it into 2. I really hope this saves you guys hours and hours of data tracking and chasing down papers and crunching numbers. Keep your eyes peeled out for all the pre-made versions that we are going to make, and I think you're really going to love them. happy school year, happy data tracking.